Like, sure, let's do it. Let's change every name. What is up, fam? It is Shar, and welcome to Law Living Color, where I provide quick tips and experiences in law school process and legal field as a person of color. Y'all, there's some more news today. UC Hastings has decided to do a name change. They voted Tuesday of this week that they were going to do it, and they have to actually go and coordinate with the state because the name is protected by the state. It's what you call it, enshrined. So, which means it just means that it's protected by the law. So not only do they have to change it via the school, but also they have to coordinate with the state to change it. Why did they change the name? As has been the talk with a lot of name changes with law schools in general, it's because the founder had a controversial history or legacy. At the time in which Serenius Hastings was alive, California actually legalized lynch mobs of Native Americans, and Hastings financially contributed as well as orchestrated a lot of the mass murders that happened with Native Americans in that region, specifically of the Yuki tribe. He was responsible for killing over 300 Yuki tribe members, and the government reimbursed him for it. This event was known as the Round Valley Settlers Massacre, which ultimately killed over 1,000 Native Americans in California. So yeah, that's Mr. Hastings. With Hastings' controversial legacy, the school has, I guess, acknowledged it. In a prior year, I think 2020, they mentioned the name change possibility. UC Hastings wasn't for it, especially the family of Hastings wasn't really for it, so they weren't going to change it then. They did create certain programs. They have the legal aid fund for Yuki Native Americans as well as Native Americans in general. They have a memorial on campus, I believe. They also found an indigenous law center. So they brought it up again, the name change, about a week or two prior to this week. And Hastings still wasn't for it. Why the change of heart? I'll tell you. A huge contributor to the school, who has donated over $10 million. He's a trial attorney. Stated that he would want his name removed and he will no longer associate himself with UC Hastings until they do the name change. And what happened later, like literally 2 days, they voted to do the name change. It was very encouraging to see someone with that significant amount of power come up and say, hey, yeah, this is wrong and we should change the name to it. I do wonder why it took him this long to come up about it. Like I said, conversations about name changing the school were in effect last year. But regardless of the fact, he spoke up. He said, I'm not going to support the school anymore. And the school took it seriously, to say the least. Now, mind you, they started going into Hastings' legacy in 2017. So the programs that I mentioned earlier were formed around then. So they always knew about the history. It's not like it's not new news to them. But they definitely needed to do something about it. I did want to share my opinions on this. It's pretty straightforward, like the guy did some horrible stuff in the past. Let's just change the name of it so we don't have to be reminded of the horrible things he did with his name posted at the school. Like the school's name is his name. I get that. I think one argument that people have used, and I think at one point it was circulating TikTok, I forget the user's name, but she had said this, I believe, about Christopher Columbus. And she was saying that I hope today, for Columbus Day, we try not to rewrite history or something like that. And basically saying that you know, what we learned about Christopher Columbus is accurate in the sense of he founded this country, and and you know, we can't call him foul because that's just what they did back then. That was just how things were done. And I think that is the argument that arises a lot when it comes to name changes of institutions, of just anything. Like we've seen it in sports. And I'm just going to tell y'all right now, that's a fallacious argument. Now, my LSAT test takers right now, you know, y'all know what a fallacy is. Now, the specific fallacy of that argument, that's just what they did back then, is called an appeal to tradition fallacy. I can never speak sometimes, y'all. Appeal to tradition fallacy, and what that is justifying something just because that was the way that it was done then. For those of y'all that don't know yet, or like preparing for the LSAT and don't know the gist of fallacies, fallacies are what we call an error in reasoning, in which they will have invalid points or an invalid argument. Appeal to tradition fallacy, in my mind, when you argue that this is the way things have always been done, as if validating the acts that were done then. And with this, along with any other name change or anything like that, people are like, what are they going to change next? Everything's going to be changed. Are we going to change every single school that had a founder with controversial past? I don't know. You know, personally, sure, let's do it. Let's change every name. But in reality, I think this is progress. I think it acknowledges the pain and the suffering of not only the Yuki tribe and not only of Native Americans, but it also acknowledges the history of the U.S. It does. This country was not founded, it was taken. And it also took people and put them here. And to just completely forget that and just to completely just say, oh, it's just a name. No, there's a lot behind a name. And in many cultures, name means everything. So you can't sit up here and rub it off. So, you know, kudos to Hastings. I don't care if it took a person who's contributed millions of dollars to change y'all's mind. I'm glad y'all has changed y'all's mind. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Again, leave some comments below on what y'all think about the name change situation. And those of you that are interested in applying to UC Hastings, it will be a different name sometime soon. So be on the lookout for that. But as always, peace, guys.